Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. My name is Ayub, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about finding the perfect research project for yourself as a CS student, whether that's in the BA school or the BS school. Now, the tips I will be sharing with you guys today are not specifically limited to per se CS students, as research is fairly common across a wide variety of subjects and departments, but the nature of research that I have conducted has mostly revolved around computer science, since I am a computer science student. So for those that are new here, I am an undergrad third-year student here at UVA studying computer science, and for the past few semesters, or like almost 2 years now, I have had the opportunity to conduct research in different areas and under different departments. I have done research in the drama department where I was working on a robotic platform, or I did another research in the humanities department where I created an entire website. And so that's kind of the nature of the research that I have done. And having done these research projects, I have definitely gained a few takeaways. And so in today's video, I want to share with you guys a few tips on how to optimize your research experience, whether that's, looking for the right project, or, after you find a research project and you're interested in it, how to make the most out of it. Now, before you start looking for a research project, there are a few things you want to consider before you start your search. The first being, of course, you want to have a certain idea on what it is you want to research and what skill sets you want to improve or further develop upon. A common misconception many students have is that, you can only conduct research on topics that you have a certain degree of mastery in, and that's just not the case at all with research. While research presents a great way for you to, further develop your existing skills and take them to a new level, you don't have to know everything from the get-go. Now, you can just as easily research a topic that you're completely unfamiliar with, but as long as you have that certain degree of interest in pursuing that subject, you'll still be able to research and actively learn and ultimately just, polish your existing set of skills or just, completely develop new ones. Alright, so now let's talk about finding the perfect research project for yourself. You want to have an inside-out approach, and there's really 4 methods of doing it. The first one being, of course, just contacting your professors. So the first place you should start looking for research projects should be, within your immediate sphere, which means, addressing classes that you have already taken or are currently taking and you really enjoyed. So oftentimes professors in your college or university will have research projects on the side, and so you can just easily reach out to them, that whether that's via email or in person, and you can that's one way to just learn more about the project that they're doing, and ultimately just gauge your own interests. So that's kind of the first way you can learn more about like the different projects that different professors are doing. The second place to learn about existing research projects are, of course, other students, whether those students are in your existing classes or your friend circle. It is even more beneficial to reach out to those other students, as they can provide you insight on the existing research projects that are going on and the different professors that are kind of supervising them. It's also beneficial to reach out to those other students, as those students can provide you insight and feedback on what it was like to work under a certain professor. So if an experience of a student working with the professor was negative, you know that, you should avoid reaching out to that professor altogether. Stepping farther out, the third way you can find research projects is actually through dedicated websites. Now, your university may have dedicated websites where professors like to frequently visit and post about any current progress they have on existing research projects or any future upcoming projects that they might be starting soon. And along with these dedicated websites are, of course, you have your university handshake, where I know professors will frequently visit and make posts about any upcoming opportunities where the professors are looking for students to join. After having exhausted the 3 methods I mentioned above of reaching out to a professor or other student and utilizing online websites, and you still cannot find a research project that you're genuinely interested in, all hope is still not lost, as you have one more method you can go about finding a research project. And this last method that I'm talking about is, of course, creating your own research project. So hear me out here. Most students are not aware of this, but if you have an idea that you genuinely want to research, you can actually reach out to professors that have the most knowledge about the subject matter that you're researching, and they can volunteer to overlook and guide the work that you will be doing. For example, if you wanted to get into basic game development and you wanted to create your first game in Python, you can reach out to a professor that has taught Python to overlook your project. And if you're not sure what professor to reach out to in regards to whatever subject matter you're researching, you can just reach out to your supervisor, and your supervisor should be able to point you in the right direction. If the existing professor-led research projects are not your cup of tea, creating your own research project is still a great way to still get that research experience while still learning something new. An added benefit even of creating your own research project is that you're able to apply for funding within your specific department. Oftentimes, school will have dedicated funding for undergrad research programs, and so you're able to receive quite a lot of money to support your own research endeavor. Of course, you also have another benefit of creating your own research project is that you're able to invite other students. Alright, now that we have discussed extensively about how to find different research opportunities, here's a quick recap. Method 1, of course, is looking within your immediate sphere, which means the classes you're taking. If you are taking a class and you genuinely enjoy it and the subjects that are discussed, you should reach out to the professor to find any opportunities available. Your professor should be able to talk about any upcoming opportunities or any existing opportunities and should be able to provide you some insight on how to join. The second method of finding out about research projects that we discussed earlier are, of course, other students. You should talk to students in your classes and your friends in your friend circle to learn about any research they might be conducting. And your friends and your students in your other classes are going to have the same interests as you. And so they'll be able to recommend you some great projects for you to join, and the only thing you have to do is just reach out to a professor. The third method we discussed earlier is, of course, finding out about dedicated websites where professors are often likely to post about research opportunities, and University Handshake is a really good place to get started. And lastly, method 4, of course, is creating your own research project and then pitching it to a professor or the university department on that subject area. Alright, well, that covers everything you need to know on how to find the best research project for yourself. I hope I was able to provide you some valuable insight on how to find the best research project, as well as how to reach out. If you do decide to reach out to a professor as a cold call, I have attached an email template down below on how to format your first email. Now, please consider liking and commenting down below on any additional tips you may have for other students, as well as please consider checking out my other video on how to become a TA and the benefits of being a TA. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.